City, so much history, widely considered the birthplace of pro baseball. The Cincinnati's in front 3-1, top of the 7th, and he's ahead of Tasker Hernandez. Comes home with an 0-2. Yes! And sticks with it to strike him out. The kind of pitch. Here's Lux.
Ball.
I was pitching.
Atlantis. And fizzled out after a couple of years. Stops playing for a couple of years. The Reds discover him, and he debuts at the age of 30. Tapper back to him, and he's retired.
Maybe pump him up a little bit. So that's got to be the longest home run you've ever hit. And then I found out that that was a boat.
Ball.
I didn't want.
Ball.
3-0 on Jason Hayward. Cruz comes home, and Hayward takes ball 4. So the Dodgers get the tying run to the plate.
Runners on, he delivered.
Kike Hernandez, strike 1. Opportunities. The Reds not having many late leads. 0-2 on Hernandez. There goes Hayward on an 0-2, and on 3 pitches he strikes out Hernandez. A scoreless 7. That's the longest drought in baseball as Tyler Stevenson takes a strike from Ryan John.
That didn't go well for them.
Braves took him down in the championship series on the way to the. Inspired a lot of excitement. Just look at the environment here this weekend. Stevenson to third. That's off Hernandez. Betts. Mike Ford.
Am I the only one that thinks this? I see this guy as being a professional softball player. Softballs, I bet.
Taps this baseball along first, and see the home runs those guys hit off Darvish last night.
Ball in.
Oh my gosh. India lines it to center, right at Chris Taylor. He did last night. Homered and robbed a couple there. On a 1-0, Fairchild takes ball 2. Chopper to Betts. Scoreless 7. And he's out there to face 9-1 and 2, which will include those same 2 guys. He's going to get Chris Taylor on 1 pitch. Flying to Jake Fraley. He's got a.
Well, it's a lot of pressure to put on that top 5.
Bouncing ball to third, stabbed by Espinal. 2 out.
A dream to most other teams, right? They would love to struggle like that. And World Series championships. 10-year deal. 2-year.
The Dodgers felt like on 1-2, Ohtani strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Sam Maul with a 1-2-3-8. Restore some of that sparkle.
Yeah, I agree, and I was impressed by talking. That means you win. Doing it 2 days in a row is even better.
That's a base hit into center field for Espinal. Race going. Weather does not look good in these parts. Ball on Hurtubise. Bunts it foul. Mentioned it earlier, but worth mentioning again. Tomorrow's game, which was supposed to be 1:40, has been moved up to 12:10 between these 2 teams. Storms, it seems, imminent later in the afternoon. Severe storms. Get out of town while you can, buddy.
Oh, it's early for me tomorrow.
Labor to lay it down here. Hernandez to first.
You know, we get here early enough to watch batting practice. I've never seen a team spend so much time in this day and age on bunting. And the Cincinnati Reds did that for quite some time, and it paid off in this inning already.
MLB app is your place for live baseball. Real-time highlights, pitch-by-pitch updates, faster than ever. Download the MLB app today. David Bell's been doing everything that he can to get whatever he can for his offense. Before last night, where they scored the 9 runs, they were averaging 2.8 runs per game in May. So we saw the other day against the Padres a triple in the 1st inning, and then a double steal in the 1st inning. They got caught at home. De La Cruz took too long getting into the box. So a automatic strike on him, pitch clock violation, and now ball. So 1-1 on De La Cruz. But whatever they can do, the Reds are trying to squeeze whatever offense they can. For a team that was 5th in the league in runs scored last year, just feeling the effect of those injuries. De La Cruz snapped a long drought against the Dodgers with an RBI hit in the 6th. So 0 for 15 after his 4-for-4 game last Thursday. Not just 4 hits, but he also had 4 stolen bases in that game. First game like that in more than a decade, since Ichiro did it when he was at the Yankees.
Ball, no. They swing.
No swing, ball 3.
Well, he has shown better discipline tonight and of the strike zone. If he continues to do that,
he becomes one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah. Look, Ronald Acuna is having what would be his considered down year so far, and he was dynamic up course last year and probably the most dynamic, power, average, speed, but this guy could be right there in the conversation.
Try to get him some more insurance. Chase there. Still just 22 years old. Elly De La Cruz. And not just the physical gifts. They rave about him as a person. Humility. The hard work. Alexis Diaz getting ready for the 9th. Freeman Smith and Tasker Hernandez due up. All the cliches about your hardest worker. First guy there sweating in the weight room when the other guys show up. Detailed dives into the pitchers that he's going to face. And then all the magic tools to go with it. Another payoff from Yarborough. It is taken for ball 4. Dave Roberts coming out to make a change, and we sneak down to Kenny.
It's interesting, guys. Elly De La Cruz much better from the left side than the right, but his on-base percentage is nearly equivalent on both. So the Reds aren't worried that, yeah, he's got more power from the left side, does better. They like the fact that he gets on base just as much because guess what? When he's on base, he could be on second and then he could be on third.
Yeah, no doubt. Blake Treinen's coming in here.
Bases.
Espinal at second, De La Cruz at first, not running. Strike 1 from Treinen.
The reason I say that is the last thing a reliever's thinking about when he comes to the mound is throwing over in the very first move he makes, right? So the Reds put that thought in your head. You got to be very good. And speaking of very good, Treinen's slider, 0.73 average since 2021.
On to face Steer, who's homered in both games in this series. That's the slider right there, and he was one of the best pitchers in baseball in 2021, but just 5 games pitched in the 2 years since then. He underwent shoulder surgery. Long process coming back from that, and then he's ready to go this spring and gets hit in the ribs by a comebacker, fractures a rib, and doesn't get to debut until more than a month into the season. But since he has, he's looked like that 2021 Treinen.
Tremendous sinker followed by that slider. I mean, that ball just drops. Tremendous movement.
Like video game stuff. For the 35-year-old in his 10th season, fires a 1-2 and strikes out.